snap, I'm tripping. My mic was muted. All right, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on to anybody that's here early, and also anybody that's going to replay the show today? I'm gonna go ahead and put some background music on for like 5 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with everything that is on hand to talk about today. Everything that's on hand to talk about today. I cannot hear nothing. Okay. What's good, CG? Josiah was good. Oh snap. Rain was good. Ari was good. Two Turn was good. Everybody that's in here, a leaderboard. What the hell is that? I got a community leaderboard. I don't even know what that is. That looks cool. Shout out to the community leaderboard. RJ, what's good? Yeah, I see. It's driven by the chat and like how often you type in the chat and like super chats and super stickers and things like that. All right. Good morning to every single body that's in here. One, it feels so good to be able to be on YouTube again. It feels so good to be able to share my screen and have my camera on. Y'all know what I was dealing with. Y'all know what I was dealing with the last couple of days, man. It's freaking ridiculous. But we here again. Ready to have a good day. Ready to talk about some sports. Ready to be positive as always. Ready to stay blessed as always. And just ready to hear what people got to say about the things that are the topics today. Pacers, NBA Finals, OKC, NBA Finals. Maybe if like Z Farm or Rye or Process or somebody, we even talk about the Stanley Cup Finals this week. That'd be great. And then also Pacers Thunder's Finals preview and things of that nature. So also WNBA as well. So that's everything we'll be talking about today. Appreciate everybody that's in here. Thank y'all for rocking with Fact and Stats. Thank y'all for being on time, and thank y'all for coming inside of the YouTube, knowing that we're being on YouTube today, or we'll be on YouTube today, versus having to start on playback the last couple of days because of obvious reasons. So that's a blessing. As y'all see float on the bottom of the screen, welcome to the best show in the world, the one and only Fact and Stats. 3 years running. Far as the daily show, 3 years running. As far as the daily show, and I'm just blessed to be able to do what I do on a day-to-day basis. The next banner that's going to float on the bottom of the screen, I'm advising you all to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Liking this live stream helps the algorithm out for anybody that's surfing on YouTube to come across Fact and Stats and be willing to chime in, whether they chime in via the chat or they chime in via the stage. Either way, I'll be thankful regardless. I built this platform for trying to give everybody a platform to be able to speak their mind. I started on Twitter Spaces. It was a fun time. Expanded to playback, YouTube, etc. Next. Comment, as you see comment anything throughout the show today, whether it's a question, whether it's a comment or something that you heard, whether it's I'm saying or somebody else said it. That'd be great again, regardless. The more comments, the better. Also if you're not share this out with one person today, I would love for you all to share this out with one person. Anybody can join the stage and speak their mind. As you see, I just typed in the comments to join the stage with the link, and I also will pin that throughout the show today. So make sure you all like this video. Make sure you all comment throughout the show today. And also, if you have not shared with one person, please share with one person, whether it's a Twitter chat, whether it's an Instagram chat, TikTok chat, iPhone group chat, anybody, whether it's one person, that'd be great. And let them know what Fact and Stats is all about. But last but not least, if you are not subscribed, make sure you all hit that subscribe button. I cannot wait to get right back here and sit in this chair and be able to host a show on YouTube, whether it's YouTube or playback, but YouTube. So we are here. If you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. And let's continue on down. Let's continue on down. There are a couple of things you all can do to extend your support for the platform. Again, there are a couple of things you all can do to extend your support for the platform. On top of being in here, I do appreciate that support. But if you want to extend your support, the first thing that you can do is become a member. It's about, 40 or some members on the YouTube side of things. Greatly appreciate everybody. You can become a member too. How? You got to click the link in the description on this video. There's 3 different levels you can join as. They all have different customized perks, level 1, level 2, and level 3. You obviously get the Fact and Stats logo next to your name. Your name obviously will turn green in the chat. Discounted price on merchandise, VIP priority, things of that nature. So if you are not a member, I would love for you all to become a member. All you have to do is click the link in the description on this video. Also, if you want to extend your support outside of becoming a member, you can send super chats and or super stickers. The amount does not matter to me, whether it's $5, $3, $10. I'll be super duper thankful and grateful regardless. Next, the Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. This is all important. Literally all 3 is important. Starting with the Twitter. On far as the Twitter side of things, that's why I tweet out where the show will be held at every single morning. That's why I tweet where the show will be held at every single morning. So you see this morning, the show will be live at 11 a.m. on YouTube and Twitter. Open everyone to come speak their mind. Pacers advancing to the finals. Early Knicks outlook. what should some things that are ways or things they should attack this offseason to improve on what they did this postseason or even just in season in general. Thunder Pacers full series preview. We're going to be ranking the top 10 series players in that series. X factors are ultimately giving a reason on who we have winning that series and why. I think everybody's on the popular side when it comes to that series. WNBA recap. Looking at all the action that went down around the WNBA this past weekend. Commissioner Cup kicked off. I want to say the first Commissioner Cup game was yesterday. The Commissioner Cup kicked off as well. And then if some hockey folks pop in, I can't. If they pop in and want to dive into this finals preview, I would see if Z Farm. I told Z Farm about it yesterday. We'll see if Z Farm or BJ or anybody else pop in and talk about it. But that's what that's about. Tomorrow, if anybody do not know, tomorrow we are finally kicking off our NFL positional rankings. I do not know a position or what side of the ball we're going to start off with, but that will be tomorrow. So make sure you all follow Fact and Stats on Twitter. As far as the Instagram and TikTok, you can probably see right here while y'all on YouTube. You can probably see the YouTube shorts I've been making over the past week as far as WNBA related things or just sports things in general. And I distribute those clips to Instagram. I distribute them to Twitter. I distribute them to TikTok as well. So if you are in here, if you are in here, make sure you all follow Fact and Stats on those platforms as well. My bad, slow moment real quick. Next, the website, all Fact and Stats apparel. If you do not have any Fact and Stats apparel, I would love for you all to get yourself a Fact and Stats shirt or whatever the case may be. I bet you can see here shirts are still behind me in stock as well. I will make a post office run today after the show when I go to the gym. That's to Josh or Andrew, or even if not both, actually. Shirts are in my car. They're in my vehicle. So I will ship them when I leave and go to the gym today. Obviously, the flood was a mini setback. Fredo, what's good with you? So, yeah, if you are interested in any Fact and Stats apparel, check out the website. It's factandstats.us. The link in the description on this video and get you a new Fact and Stats shirt. As you can see here, all colors are still behind me as well. Playback.tv/Facts and Stats. What is Playback? Playback is a platform that allows me to host a show there if I choose to do so. Again, Playback is a platform that allows me to host a show there if I choose to do so. It's a great platform. It's similar to YouTube. I have the ability to turn my camera on. People can join the stage just like YouTube. It's a live chat room there, just like YouTube. It's real similar. We typically watch NBA games or baseball games or WNBA games, whatever we can watch. That's what we typically watch in there. If they give us the access or the ability to watch it. So that's playback.tv/Facts and Stats. And more often than not, or for the most part, I take the show to playback after the YouTube side of things. It's not a guarantee I do it every day, but sometimes I do. Well, more often than not, I'll say I do. Again, that's playback.tv/Facts and Stats. We hit 1,900 members yesterday, road to 2,000. So if you are in here, you are not a part of the playback community or Fact and Stats playback community, please sign up and join the Fact and Stats playback community and join us for some watch parties for these NBA Finals games, WNBA games, even baseball games. I'm trying to be scheduling baseball games to see if some people will pop in there and watch some baseball games as well. So I got 2 scheduled today, I think, or 3. And I'm trying to pop in there and watch some myself while having some open show talk. So playback.tv/Facts and Stats. Make sure you all sign up and join the Fact and Stats playback room. And then next, or not last, but next. Yeah, this is last. I'm sorry. Well, second to last. Fact and Stats gambling Discord for all folks that gamble. Fact and Stats gambling Discord for all my folks that gamble. Myself, BJ, and many others share their plays on a day-to-day basis. Using the Discord yesterday, I hit something small, something chill. Aces, links, money line with like Naneka getting 6 boards. So it was a chill little hit for me. I don't know if I'm gambling today because it ain't no WNBA, ain't no NBA, ain't no hockey. I might chill some of that BJ make for baseball, but other than that, I might just chill today. But feel free to join the Fact and Stats Gambling Discord. The link is in the description on this video as well. We start the show off the same way. I don't know if anybody. Oh no, I'm sorry. Before we start the show, my apologies. Fact and Stats Cookout, the 3rd annual Fact and Stats Cookout is coming up literally in 19 days. I cannot wait, man. It's a lot of people that's RSVP'd already. I want to make that very clear. There's a lot of people that did that. I posted this late on Twitter. I'll probably post it again on Twitter and also on Instagram, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But 3rd annual Fact and Stats Cookout, June 21st. Start time will be about 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Be Fort Washington, Maryland. If you need the direct address, if you plan on coming, please DM me. If you need the direct address and you plan on coming, please DM me. I will update it later on Eventbrite. But again, this is 3rd annual Fact and Stats Cookout. It'll be cookout food, games, fun, excitement, joy, A lot, man. I plan on live streaming the whole entire cookout for the most part. I plan on live streaming the cookout on my Twitch page. My Twitch is Avril Jr. So I plan on live streaming the whole entire cookout on my Twitch page, my first in real life, or what they'll say is IRL stream. So definitely looking forward to that. If you can come to the cookout, please come through. Again, it's 19 days away. And that Friday, which is the 20th, we plan on like bowling or something like that. So keep that in mind. For all my folks that gamble, it's a small crowd in here right now. Don't know if any gamblers in here right now. Did anybody get sold over the weekend on the gambling side? Sold as far as your parlay being one off, your parlay being one off. If anybody got sold on the gambling side of things, if your parlay was one off, please type it in the chat. If your parlay was one off on anything, please type it in the chat before we get to what's next, if anything. And in the meanwhile, with that, if anybody gambled and got sold, which I don't know if anybody did, it probably really wasn't no NBA to bet on or anything like that. But next, players of the day, anybody that you want to shout out and show some love to over the weekend, whether it's WNBA, whether it's NBA, or whether it was even boxing. We had some boxing fights this past weekend, or whether it was baseball, So
Shout out my nigga Spicy P.
Established said Brunson getting locked up wasn't on the bingo card. T says shout out to Siakam. Definitely shout out to Siakam. That's actually one of my opening questions. But yeah, shout out to Siakam. For me, I'm gonna shout out to the whole entire New York Liberty team. Those are my players of the day. The whole entire team. They had a 48-point victory. A big, big, big win over the Sun yesterday. So I'm gonna give them love and shout out to that whole entire mob for what they did yesterday. They are looking really, really, really good this year. Just like the Lynx as well. So I just want to shout them out. Let me see if anybody else says something. Mitch Robinson had 9 rebounds. I needed one more to hit. Terrible, Mitch Rob. Terrible. All right. Anybody else can feel free. Oh, yeah. Take your shoes off at the door for sure. Take your shoes off at the door for sure. I definitely forgot to say that. Anybody else, feel free to type anything as far as were you getting sold yesterday or I said yesterday. Getting sold over the weekend, or if you have any players you want to shout out. Getting sold over the weekend, or if you have any players you want to shout out over the weekend. Now, my open question for the show before we dive into what we're going to be talking about today. I want to know, and again, I wasn't active in playback that night, so I probably would have missed some things that was said or anything that was said or whatever the case may be. But my opening question was, I do want to know, just genuinely, did anybody in here via the chat and or shout out to the one that's on the stage? Did anybody in here via the chat and or stage agree with the decision? And what I mean by that is, did Halliburton deserve the Eastern Conference Finals MVP? Siakam is the winner. He averaged 25 points basically in the series, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, with a steal a game on 50, 67 from the free throw line. And then Halliburton in 6 games averaged 21 points, 6 rebounds, 10.5 assists, 2.5 steals on 45% from the field, 32 from 3, and 81% from the free throw line. So catch me up, Team Zach. I don't know. Did y'all feel like Halliburton deserved it, or did Siakam deserve it? Like, how did the chat feel? How did y'all feel about that?
For me personally, I know Mazak gonna say Pascal deserved it. For me, it could have went either way. But me and Mazak had a conversation where I legit said, if this nigga come in this game 6, play good and do good, like plays good defense on Cat, nigga, give him the shit. And I've been telling Mazak that's all we need out of him is to lock Cat's stupid ass up. He went out and did that and gave 30. Nigga, give him what he deserved. That's how I feel about it. And then Holly does have the 8-point game in there, so I get how the voters looked at that. So I think it ended up 4-2, right? I think that was the final vote, 4-2, I think, or 4-3. I'm not mad.
5-4. It's 5-4, bro.
5-4. It was 5-4. Damn, I thought it was 3. I thought Holly only got 3. But regardless though, I thought Siakam had a phenomenal series. And defensively coming into that last game and shutting off Cat Water, nigga, that's a lot, nigga. So I feel like he was well deserved. Holly had an argument, of course, to me, but it was well deserved, bro. Shout out Spicy P.
For me, I was low-key different. I actually thought I looked at it like when he won it, I was happy as fuck. But like I thought back on it, and I was looking at it, bro. I thought Hallie should have got it, bro, because like he's low-key. Siakam's like the reason he didn't get it is because I think Siakam's been a little bit more consistent, but he's feeding off like Hallie's success. So Hallie's the engine on the team. If we're gonna keep it real, he's the reason. He's the main reason for the Pacers' success. And like if the stats aren't that big, Siakam isn't really like outplaying Hallie by that much for him to warrant it, bro. So I did. I thought it was going to see Hallie. Like I was talking. I was praying it was going to go to Siakam. I was surprised they gave it to him. But I was like, yeah, I'd probably edge it off to Hallie by a little bit. But it's so close. It doesn't really matter. They both played two amazing series, and they both played well. So it could have went either way for me. I was happy if it went either way anyway. So it didn't matter.
Okay. Anybody else feel like Halliburton deserved it over Siakam, or Siakam was the rightful winner?
Siakam came in that last game, rebounded, played defense, and dropped 30. So I ain't mad at that nigga getting it at all.
Respect.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you could say that, Siakam maybe had a little bit more of a consistent series. I am always going to be deferential to the offensive engine on the team, and I do think that that's Hallie, even in the games in which maybe his scoring isn't as large as you would say for many other players from that standpoint. But I thought Siakam played a really good series, so I wasn't upset by him getting it. I personally would have been Holly, but to these guys' points, I mean, both of them had really good series and ultimately did what needed to be done. So it was understandable, and I don't think because I know obviously people were making fun of the reaction to it. I don't think that Hallie was serious in that he was stepping up to try and get it. I think he was just making a little meme and playing around with it. I don't think he was like dead serious about that either. But nah,
Shit,
shout out to
I think he was
Siakam and Hallie.
serious. I think he was serious.
I think he was playing into it because these guys I think know before who is going to end up getting it by the time that they get to that stage portion of it. Maybe they don't. I
Nah,
could be wrong about
I
that.
do think with how he came out in that fourth quarter, what was it, like 10 points in the fourth? I think he
Mhm.
thought he was getting that motherfucker. I don't think he cares to the part like people are like, oh, he's that mad. I think some of it was a little clip farming because my guy is corny. But I genuinely think he thought after that fourth quarter, like, in that deep ass three, that he was getting that shit. Though. I do think he thought he was getting that shit.
I thought he was clip farming in a meme way, but like we do agree at the very end. I don't think he really cares that much either way it goes.
I thought it was the fourth, right? I thought the Stanley Cup started in the fourth. I'm wrong about that.
Oh, I
Ain't
thought it
this?
was their fifth as well. I don't know. Let me check.
Hold on.
Wagwan brothers.
But
Yeah,
I
it's the
just think
fourth. It's the
I just
fourth.
think it's the 8 point game that showed Holly. Like I think if that 8 point game doesn't happen, I think even though it's not like Siakam had a great game, he only had 15, but that 8 point really showed the fuck out that nigga's case. I think that left the certain voters, the Shaqs of the worlds, the Kennys of the worlds, to not give him that award.
But they didn't have a vote though.
I thought Shaq had a vote. Or am I tripping?
That was just
Nah.
Reggie Miller. It was like
It
Reggie
was just
Miller. And,
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Reggie and them. Okay.
yeah.
What's your thoughts? Also, if you in here, y'all make sure I hit that thumbs up button. Y'all, it's only 9 likes on this video. If you in here, hit that thumbs up button. It's only 9 likes on this video. Twin, did you feel like Halliburton deserved it, or Siakam was the right guy to win it? Twin, did I say twin or did I say twin?
You said tween.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I just got a call. I just heard you say my name. You said what?
I said, did you feel like Halliburton deserved Eastern Conference Finals MVP, or Siakam was the right guy to win it?
Nah, I was saying on playback, I thought Pascal deserved it because I thought the consistency throughout the six, it was more than, you feel me? You had Hallie's highs, game one, game two, and then some of the lows, game five. You feel me? It was just like my criteria was like, I'm gonna give it to the most consistent player each game. I think that's how the voters seen it too. I think he was their most consistent player defensively on Cat, offensively getting baskets on the post, rebounding. Like he was in the trenches, in my opinion. He was very impactful. So I thought the voters got it right.
Okay.
The one thing I will say, as far as that is concerned, because Tween does point out obviously when some of Hallie's games came, it is one of those things where you look at the full series, and again, I think Siakam was more consistent, and again, I think he was plenty deserving of it. But when you have when you're on the road and you're an underdog, and you can come out and have the two games that he had, that does matter more than he had a down game five, which in that, you're down 3-1, other teams on the road, they're playing for the playoff lives. These things happen as far as that's concerned. And I think that does matter for context, and maybe that's a little bit more nuanced than some of the voters are going to look at as far as the full game stats or full series stats, I should say. But that is another piece of it where, when you have these games, does matter in the ebbs and flows of a series. And certainly Hallie starting off those games, or the series, I should say, with those first 2 games on the road to steal both of them, or at least maybe steal the first one, and obviously win the second one to put a stranglehold on the series is a big piece of it too.
Yeah. Me personally, it's no wrong answer. I feel like Halliburton, like D-Mac says, the engine of the offense. Still to me the best player on the team. He makes everything go for the most part on the offensive side. But when you have a guy that has the experience, that is a champion, and in this moment also rose to the occasion. It probably was his best series, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember his round 1 or round 2, but I think it's probably was Siakam's best series throughout the playoffs. Averaging 25 and doing what he did offensively and defensively and knocking down shots, particularly from 3 as well. So I'm gonna go with I agree with the decision for Siakam ultimately with the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Obviously in the beginning, that one, like T said, the 8-point game that stayed in the back of your mind when Siakam for the most part been nothing but consistent for the most part. So either way, man, this is a really damn good Pacers team. I can't wait to be further to talk about it. I would just open the question for the show today. Aaron, question in the chat: is Siakam a top 15 player in the Eastern Conference? I don't see why he won't be. The Eastern Conference is not loaded with talent. Siakam easily should be a top 15 player in the Eastern Conference. Is JB better than Siakam? JB had a down year. I think most will probably still say JB better than Siakam coming into this season. Now, throughout the season, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Siakam made a deeper push. He's in the NBA Finals right now. JB, meanwhile, playing through a meniscus injury. I'm sorry. And like I said, also had a down year as well. But I think for the last couple of years, I think JB been better than Siakam. So I don't know.
I think
The one thing
go
ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know if Pascal's top 15. I'm not gonna make argument for him being it, but to me, he had a top 20 season last year. He had an all NBA type season.
In the Eastern Conference, top 15.
The convo was just surrounding the Eastern Conference top 15.
That's what Ev said. I don't know.
Is that what you meant by that, brother? Just the
he
Eastern
just said
Conference?
He said East.
Yeah, he said.
Oh yeah, he easily top 15.
Yeah, I'd imagine he would definitely make that top 15.
Like easily.
Yeah, I will say this as well. Yeah, I know obviously, I don't know how people necessarily talk about him or whatever, but it's a really cool career for a guy like Pascal Siakam to have developed the way that he did. Obviously, he won that at the G League, or I think it was at the time the D League, Finals MVP and whatever. And to win the title, obviously in Toronto, and continue to make himself as good of a player as he is today, and then to now be, second best player on a finals team, and you can say whatever you want to about the East. That's a hell of an accomplishment either way you go about it. So, and now he's the conference finals MVP for whatever you put that worth into. That's a pretty cool career for Pascal Siakam for sure.
1,000%.
I feel like people just did not really recognize what he was doing prior to Indiana trading for him. To me, he was a top 15 player at that moment when he was in Toronto his last year, but before the trade. But that's just me though. Like I thought he was having a top 15 season prior to that in the Eastern Conference, if that's what we're limiting it to. So
yeah. Couple more questions. Is he better than Garland? Depending on what you want on your team. If you need a point guard, you'll probably lean Garland. If you need a guy that can play on the wing or even down low or whatever the case may be, I know Siakam was like a versatile guy. You'll probably lean Siakam.
So, in a vacuum, I'd probably take Pascal, but obviously Garland is younger and has more room to go. So
yeah, more proven, more established, more ready for big moments, and just anything in general. I'll probably lean Siakam because the versatility and what he can bring to the table. And Garland still be a good playmaker, good 3-point shooter for the most part. Still a guy that can get into the paint and live pass, whatever the case may be. I'm saying a lot of pros on both sides. But I'll probably lean Siakam just for now for overall standpoint. But it depends on how who's my point guard at the time though. Like if I need a point guard really, really bad, I'll probably say Garland. And just try to get a guy because it's way more likely to get a guy that can operate as a 3-4 and produce. They get a good point guard or a solid point guard that can produce. There's not a lot of really good point guards or above average point guards, I would say, and Garland is an above average point guard. So
I'm gonna pose a question to the people on stage, including you, brother. Do you think Pascal's better than J-Dub?
I suppose we'll have to answer that question during our finals preview, right?
And I think it's close. I think J-Dub is
that's
like
a good
defensive.
That's a good question.
Good point. It's a good question.
Yeah. I don't know, T. I have to hold that in the back pocket. That's a good because I like J-Dub a lot, but I think Siakam is a guy that is often underrated for what he's been and who he's been throughout his career and how he rose throughout his career and every single moment. You know, when he was called upon doing it and we playing on a team that can compete, he did it. You know, 19 finals, obviously. And then now fast forward 6 years later, you know, he's back again. He's been riding on his Pacers team. So shout out to the Pacers for even going and get him. But J-Dub, third team All NBA, All-Star, and it's not a fluke. Like J-Dub was a really good basketball player, bro. It's just that when you play alongside of a guy like SGA's the MVP, and you have highs and then you have lows, they question your consistency. They question who you can be. They question if you can be a valid running mate or a valid running mate or valid secondary scoring option. So I think that's what it is when it comes to J-Dub. Siakam was never put in that type of light, playing the side of well, he did play with Kawhi, but Siakam, it's different because Siakam was just like he carries himself as a chill guy. You know, he just chill. While J-Dub in that OKC team, they do the dance and they do the trolling, they do the TikTok shit. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So I don't know. I think a different light was on the OKC team than it was on that Toronto team when Siakam was second fiddle to a guy like Kawhi, comparison to J-Dub being second fiddle to a guy like SGA, scoring perspective, scoring wise.
You did also touch on it just briefly there. There is something to be said, and obviously this could be something that ends up not mattering whatsoever, but there is something to be said for this next upcoming series. These are the brightest lights that the NBA has to offer. We don't necessarily know how young players will react under those lights. For some guys, it simply does not matter, and for other guys, it matters a great deal. This is going to be a test that the young guys on Thunder and obviously J-Dub being chief among them will be facing for the first time. We know Siakam has been there, has performed well under those circumstances accordingly, and is a champion. So that's going to be an interesting question to certainly talk about as we get into this series and previewing it.
Yep, 1000%. So I'm definitely gonna keep that in the back burner. T. One more question from Black. Where does Pascal rank as a second option? Good question, my brother. Let me look at some second options. We have what? Jaylen Brown,
Dame,
LeBron.
Garland.
You laughed. I'm being dead serious.
Oh, Mobley,
Yeah.
Mobley.
LeBron, Jamal Murray, Booker, KD. I don't know.
Nigga, they both
don't know.
dudes, nigga. What you talking about?
Sabonis.
Sabonis, Jaren Jackson, I guess, or John, whichever one.
I don't know where he ranks. Like,
bro, all them people you name is not
Yeah.
better than Siakam.
Jaren Jackson's not better than Siakam. I'm not
Yeah, I
doing
don't. Cat too. I guess I'd put him over Cat as well.
That's what it narrows down to. Who do you think is better?
Yeah, probably just LeBron. You said LeBron and maybe Mobley. I don't know.
I would say probably Bron, Booker, KD, whichever one you classify as the two there. I don't know who classifies who is the two. I'm assuming they say Book is the two in Phoenix. So, yeah, like I don't know.
When we add second option, do we mean second best player or second best offensive player? Yeah, I think that's probably a better question. Which one do you mean, Black? Second best player on the team or second best offensive player?
Better than that Dame nigga is a two option. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he meant second option. That's why I said Mobley instead of Garland.
All right,
He said best player. Okay.
We'll get into that later on. Shout out to the Siakam questions and things of that nature, though. Z-Farm, you active? Z-Farm, you active? Quick call to Z-Farm. Just to, if you can, get people some things to look forward to in this Stanley Cup Finals coming up. Or, yeah, because you work on Wednesday, actually. Z-Farm, if you active. If not, I'm going to keep it rolling with the basketball side of things. Yeah, just pull up real quick, man. Pull up real quick. Stanley Cup Finals, y'all. I'm going to be. I don't know anybody for the most part now. I'm outside of Connor and the other guy that he played with. He had a crazy goal the other day. But
Leon.
I don't know anybody. Yeah, I don't know anybody at the moment. But I will be watching this game on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is the what? Is this the third straight time meeting each other in the finals?
Yeah, back to back. They met each other last year.
But this is the Panthers' third straight time, right? Going to the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Florida's third straight time, back-to-back, first time, I think in NHL history we've seen a repeat final. So, yeah.
No, say that again. This is the first time what?
First time we've seen a repeat cup final, back-to-back years. Both teams made it. Third time for Florida. Florida got stopped the first year. Then they won last year. Now they're here again. So,
What's your thoughts on this series? And anybody, KD Fact, what's your thoughts on this series? And anybody in here that even know about the hockey, feel free to come up and talk about this series real quick. But what's your thoughts on this series? Who do you have win this series? And what are some things that we should be looking forward to as me personally as a casual fan?
I like Oilers in 6.
Just to be honest, I mean, Florida has the better team. It's quite simple. They have
Is he
better
from? I
goaltending.
don't know what it is. Is it me, y'all? But is his mic like?
Yeah, his mic's cutting out.
Okay, yeah, it's like.
Let me hop downstairs real quick.
All right, I thought it was me. Jake was y'all like killing me. I ain't gonna lie.
You want some players to look out? You want some players to look out for? Yeah.
Nah, I don't need no players. I mean, just what's your thoughts on what's from a casual fan perspective? Because I'm gonna see regardless. Like from a casual fan perspective, like what are some things to look forward to? And if that comes with naming players, that's cool. But I doubt if you name a player right now, I remember them when it comes to Wednesday. So that's why I'd rather just like saying who's that and act. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're not here. I'll say subtly comes back. I think Florida probably has the deeper team, but like the Oilers have this more top end talent. Like the Oilers probably got two. They got the two best players in the series with McDavid and Draisaitl, two top 5 players, in the NHL arguably. Well, McDavid for sure. Draisaitl's up there, so it's good. But for me, I think Oilers get it this year. Last series, if you watched, where they were down 3-0 and they came all the way back and lost in the game 7, so it'll be entertaining, bro, for the casual fan base for sure. You know what I'm saying? McDavid's one of the most entertaining guys if you're new to hockey to watch. Their offense is better. But I think Florida's team's deep. They got a bunch of guys. They got the Chuck, Brad, Marchand. They just got a much deeper team. Defensively, they're much better too. So I don't know. It could go either way, bro. It's close. For me, I got Oilers in 5. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be a fucking pretty easy series for the Oilers, but you never know when it comes to hockey, bro. Shit can change like pretty quickly.
It can go either way. It's close, but you predicted 5.
Yeah, like it's a close series. It's a close series. It could go back and forth, but I got Oilers winning in 5 for me because they clearly got the top end talent, especially in the finals, bro. You don't care about who has the deeper. Since when have you ever cared in the finals who has the deeper team? It's about who has the best talent on the floor, and the Oilers got it. But like I could say it could go in 5, but like hockey games, bro, they're so close, bro. Like a game can change within a second, bro. Like you never know. You know what I'm saying? So like, so especially Florida, they were down 2-0 to like Maple Leafs. They came back and won it in 7. Like they played I think Oilers played a harder team because they just played Dallas. I think Dallas is one of the top teams. So compared to Florida didn't really play a good team in the conference final. So it depends. But like for me, yeah, I got it 5 games, but I'm kind of biased. But like, yeah, it's going to be an entertaining series though. It's probably one of the most entertaining series like NHL we've watched in a while for sure. I'll say that.
No, I appreciate that. One more question for you. Shout out to KD, but why does KD keep saying these teams hate each other? Some USA and Canada hatred been shown between these teams. He said, look out for the politics and beef that can happen. Like, what's going on from the team aspects with those two?
Beef? I don't know. I don't know.
Is
Like
there anything there? Or he just...
last year there was like some shit, but like I don't think it was anything to do with politics. I just think like they got players like what's his name? There's a player in Florida. His name like the Chuck. He's just like one. He's like a Dylan Brooke. You know what I'm saying? He just goes and like starts. He's pretty good though. So like there's just beef from that side, but I don't think there's any like political or anything beef that way. But yeah, they don't really like each other. There's a bunch of fights. Like last time, I think there's like 7 fights in the playoffs, like in one game. So like there'll be a bunch of fights. It'll be entertaining, especially for a new fan. You'll love it.
Okay. All right. What's up, Z Farm? Mazak, thank you for subbing in real quick.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, this series is gonna be fun. To answer your question that was asked earlier, Florida is the better team going to this series. However, they don't have the better players or the best players. If I were to rank the players, Edmonton would have the first 2 guys, McDavid and Draisaitl. They have been absolutely lights out in this playoffs. I think they're leading in terms of both teams, in terms of points. I think McDavid has 26 and Draisaitl has 25 compared to, I think, Barkov, who's leading Florida with 17. So that's a major difference right there with just those 2 guys. But Florida, they have the better goaltending. They have the better defending. And they just have the better well-rounded team. But that really doesn't matter because Connor McDavid's Connor McDavid, you know? Like it's like the Lamar Jackson effect, though. I really – but it's like Lamar has another option. He has another guy next to him. That's what it is in Edmonton. So I really want to say Florida wins again, but I would not be surprised if the Edmonton Oilers pull this out just strictly off the back of McDavid. Last year, he won the Conn Smythe, which is their finals MVP. McDavid won it. I think it's the first time in 50 years that a player won it on the losing side. because that's how good he was last year. I expect the same result this year. I expect him to win it again. I expect him to put the team on his back and try to win the Cup final. But if he doesn't, he'll probably be an MVP again. So,
how do you even feel about? How would that make you feel though? Like, how do you look at that trophy or whatever, knowing that you were the best player in the series, but you lost, like you're not a champion? Like, how would you feel about that?
He didn't even come out of the ice to like pick it up.
No, he was
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, like, but I don't want that. Like, I'm sitting in my head, like, how would that make you feel? Like, me personally, I can't get happy with that. Like, I can't get happy winning that personally.
Only
Like, I
niggas
don't
who
know.
want to win shit like that is LeBron James, bro. Everybody else care about winning more.
Yeah, and knowing him, he knows he's the best in the world. He knows he's the best player on the ice every time he steps on. So, for him, the goal is to win the cup. That's everybody's goal. That's when you grow up playing hockey. That's the main goal, is to get to the NHL and win a cup. Like, raising that cup is levels. Like, it's different. You know, it's instead of making, like, people take pay cuts to get on these teams and get on this type of the caliber of team like Edmonton, like Florida, just so they can raise the cup one time and call it a career. Like, there's so many. It's one of the best feelings in the world to win a championship, especially in the NHL. You know, a lot of guys go 15, 17 years, they don't win one. They say, I wish I could win one. I take all my All-Star games back, all my awards, all my trophies. I get a cup. I guarantee you every single person will say that didn't win one. But, yeah, McDavid, if he does win this cup, I think he solidifies himself as one of the best players of all time already. I think he will be one of the best players of all time when his career is said and done, probably 10 years. But if he wins this one, he definitely deserves to be in that conversation, at least starting in that conversation already, because he is on pace to be one of the greats. So if he gets this cup against a team that he lost to last year, they choked a 3-1 lead last year. I don't know if Zach talked about that. They choked a 3-1 lead to lose that cup last year. So I know he's come back with a vengeance. I know that team is coming back with a vengeance. So, yeah, this is going to be a really good series compared to you guys over the NBA. I'm definitely going to be watching this. I'll watch you guys as well. But I think this is going to be more entertaining. I think we're going to see, a lot more close games in this. So this is going to be a very fun series. But I got Florida winning. I'd be very surprised if Florida built this team the way they did. Very good, very well-rounded, and they lose. So, yeah, I got Florida winning in 6. Would not be surprised if it goes 7. And I wouldn't be surprised if Edmonton pulls it out. But I have Florida winning the Stanley Cup final back-to-back years.
Who do Florida have a top 10 player or no?
They got a couple. I mean, they got a couple guys that are, within that range. You could say they got Alexander Barkov, their center. Sam Bennett, who just got paid $10 million in the offseason. Matthew Tkachuk, who was the captain of Team USA for the Four Nations stuff that was watched around in here. I wouldn't say what Katie was talking about because it wasn't political, but he was the captain of Team USA for the tournament. So maybe there's a little beef there. Maybe he wants to take another cup from Canada. Canada has not won a cup in, I think, 34 years. So this would be 35. That a Canadian team has not won the Stanley Cup. It would be 35 straight years that it comes back to America. So I think he wants that a little bit. But yeah, that's. So
BJ said they got 3 guys that's top 20. That's more accurate or more likely.
Yeah, the top.
Yeah, I'd say yeah. And they got a really good goaltender, Sergei Bobrovsky. I'd say he's top 10. I'll be respectful because I know some people.
Yeah, it's like 3 top 20, but like Edmonton got 2 top 5 stat players.
Yeah, they got the best, and they got another top 5 guy. So
that's insane. I can't wait to watch. That's insane. All right, anybody else want to talk about this Stanley Cup Finals preview? I know this game takes place on Wednesday at 8:00. And see, from you guys, Florida winning in what?
6, could go 7.
Okay.
Panthers FC, nigga.
Nigga, the Oilers FC, nigga.
Do Playback have NHL in there, brother, or no?
No.
I thought you should have TNT. Ain't the game gonna be on TNT?
Not about with the game. It's not like they have a scheduled channel. They have games that get. They don't have a partnership with hockey.
Yeah, the only time that shit
Okay.
works between is if there's like
Yeah.
a TNT basketball game or you can leave the channel on.
Okay.
It's not like you can just flip it and put it on TNT.
Appreciate that breakdown, both of y'all.
Yeah, no problem, bro. But chance that it's on ESPN anyway. It'll be a blessing for to have it, but we'll see.
I'm
Maybe
gonna be locked in though, Ev.
me too.
I feel like we going. It's just a good series too. Like to have the same teams back-to-back years is insane.
Never mind. Chain Lad as usual, y'all. It's not on ESPN. But yeah, it's T for sure.
It's on TNT.
So I was right. Okay.
Yeah, you were right. My bad. I tried to take Chan word in between. Rookie mistake. That's on me.
Nah,
believe in
but you
Chan?
could pick
Okay.
both. Nah, both words is valid. Like that's Hezzy game right there. That's my dog Champ.
Look, leave it to Chan. All Chan talk about is nuts. That's literally all he talk about. But y'all, man, man.
Now he about to do that. Yeah, man.
Nah, I ain't about to do that. I ain't about to do that, bro. Y'all got it.
Say that for playback, brother.
Yeah, y'all got it. All right. So shout out to the Florida Panthers. Have the ability to go back to back. I think they went to 3 straight Stanley Cup Finals, and you have the Edmonton Oilers, who, like I think Mazak said or Z Farm said, fought back from down 0-3 last year. Got to Game 7, ultimately lost with Connor still walking home with the what do they call that? The MVP thing.
Connor Trophy. What do they call it? Z Farm.
The Conn Smythe Trophy. That's
Conn Smythe.
Finals MVP.
What trophy?
MVP. The Conn Smythe. The CONN Smythe Trophy.
Okay.
2 answers already.
Okay. All right. So thank y'all for that. Another thing that I know is going to be a quick pit stop, and a shout out to Z Farm as well. Again, reminder, folks, tomorrow we are starting off with positional rankings in the NFL. We are starting off with positional rankings in the NFL, ranking all the quarterback, running back, wide receivers, tight ends, linemen, safeties, corners, linebackers, defensive tackles, and edges as well. It's all not at one day. Obviously, we'll be picked going day by day with each position group. I do not know what tomorrow is going to be. I will have to know either later on this evening / night or tomorrow morning when I wake up and I make the tweet. I'll know which one we're going to be doing. But I cannot wait and look forward to that. Next, another quick pit stop.
I thought we agreed we were doing long snappers tomorrow.
Maybe fullbacks. How about fullbacks, man? You always got a good fullback in Baltimore. You always got a good fullback, man. That position died, man. Growing up, everybody had or used fullback. That position is
Shout out Tony Richardson, man.
Yeah, that position is just with.
Shout out Jalen Hurts,
man. But next, we're gonna go and do a WNBA recap. So we're going back to basketball, then we're going to then circle back to the Siakam, Jada, Pacers, Thunder, everything like that. But yeah, man, before we get to the WNBA weekend recap, I just really want to continue to shout out 2 teams. I mean, they're on a ridiculous start right now, literally both of them, and talk about picking up where you left off. I think that's the biggest thing when you look at these 2 teams. Really, just talking about picking up where you left off. As far as the Lynx side of things, they didn't necessarily make a splash, quote unquote, however people want to feel about it, a splash or a big acquisition, like the Liberty did. Yeah, crazy. You win a championship and you still make a again, quote unquote, however people view it, big acquisition or splash move and get Natasha Cloud. But the Lynx necessarily they didn't have to do that, right? Because they come back. And they were last year one of the better defensive teams. Not that they didn't have to. They probably would have liked to do it, but it didn't happen. Let me just put it like that. The Lynx, they come back after being one of the better defensive teams last year, having a top 3 player this year. And they started off, they're now sitting at 7-0. And they didn't even have their, in my opinion, second best player playing this season. She only played 3 games so far. And even she's off to a good start, averaging 17 through 3. That's Kayla McBride I'm talking about. But Courtney Williams, Smith, Bridget, Natisha, like the whole mob that's around Feed, they just play really good basketball. Natisha, big 3 in her comeback victory the other day against Cameron, who they were playing. I think I want to say Phoenix. It was Phoenix, right corner 3 she hit. And then just how they just playing overall throughout the season. On the Liberty side of things, I mean, I said like shit game 1, I think, and Shaggy thought it was a joke, or game 2, whatever it was. But it's gonna be a long, boring season. Like, you're gonna enjoy the game, you're gonna enjoy the W's that come with it. But from an overall standpoint, being a Fever fan, like the season is gonna be long, and it could be boring at some points because they're just gonna be going through everybody like that. And I think it's gonna be real competitive when they get back to the playoffs. But I just think that they're just better than majority teams in this league for the most part. So shout out to Liberty and Lynx for both starting off 7-0. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. As far as some things over the weekend, before I get into the games over the weekend, anybody want to say anything about Anything in WNBA related, real quick? Just open comments or shouting out somebody or showing some love to anything.
Shout out to Dream. Great basketball. Great watch. I'm a casual. I don't ever try to overstay with the W and try to talk more than I know. But I do like watching the Dream a lot. I think they're a really good team.
Yeah, that's that. Well, anybody else want to add anything? My bad. Before I continue, they play 40 games. Andrew, 40.
Are you going through like the W schedule from this weekend or no?
Yeah.
Then no. I'll say when we talk about the games.
Shout out 22 on the Valkyries, man. She was hitting some mean step backs last night.
She was.
To go between the same. Shout out to Golden State Valkyrie for how they've been playing so far to begin this season.
Yeah. The Dream was a good shout for sure. They're sitting at 5-2. And they're playing without their point guard, Jordan Canada, who's expected to return pretty soon. If I had to assume, probably this month. She made a tweet the other day, signaling she's probably almost back, like to practice and things of that nature. So, and
I didn't even know they was missing somebody. Shout out.
Yeah, she's not one of their top 2 players like that, but she's a good point guard. So I want to make that. I want to make that very clear. Their top 2 point guard players is Ryan and Alicia, and then just adding 2 bigs like Brianna and Brittany is really, really, really damn good for them. And even Shawty from, I don't want to say Shawty, but I forgot her name. She played on the Mystics last year, and she's a solid bench player for them. I forgot her name. Let me get her name because I don't want to talk. I want to show her some love. Let me put some respect on her name real quick. Hold on. Let me put some respect on her name. I can't remember her name. I only know what she looked like. Here, Shatori Walker. Here, she played on the
Shatori Kimbre. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was cool. So even her coming off the bench is being cool and solid for them. But yeah, man, Mystics is a good team. It's a Mystic. Dream's a good team. 5-2. Good shout out for sure. Mercury. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, thinking about shout outs. I know we've shouted them out already. Not like today, but like before. Bro, Sonya Citron and Kiki Arafin are just great rookies. Like, these are rookies who are playing some consistently good basketball. And they're not going to win a ton of games. I think they're starting off high right now. But they're sitting at, what? They're like, the Mystics, they're like, how many games they lost? They're what, 3 and 4 right now? So like they're not gonna win a ton of games. That's not gonna be their thing. But the fact that like to see rookie development, because some teams aren't gonna be good, even though they have like good young players, they're not gonna be good right now because they still like have a few other holes that they need to fix and shit like that. That's the Mystics. But be very clear, if they continue on this trajectory and they're able to keep Sonya, Aaliyah, Kiki, and when Georgia comes back, because she probably still be able to be protected, Georgia and more together, that can be a team that will be competitive and really fucking competitive. Because you have 2 rookies that are shouldering a lot of responsibility. And if you look at their box scores, when they play good teams, they get blown out. But it's the fact that when you look at their individual games, like take, the box score and all that shit out of it. When you look at their individual games, you see just how efficient they are and how good they're playing. And I gotta shout them out. Those are gonna be the 2 people in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. Kiki and Sonya. I promise you.
Yep. Credit to what D-Mac just typed in the chat. Mercury definitely doing it without Copper. They're sitting at 5-2 in this season. They even had a good comeback win against the Sparks yesterday. So shout out to the Mercury. We'll probably get into that in a second. And in my last shout out, before we look at some of the action over the weekend, Golden State Valkyries. They came the first WNBA franchise ever to pack the house with 18,000 plus fans in each of their first 3 home games. So shout out to them. That's major, man. They're new to the WNBA or they're new to the league, and they're also having fans in that area support them pretty strongly at that. 3 straight home games, 18,000 plus fans, first WNBA team ever to do that. So shout out to them. Hopefully they continue to grow and also ultimately build a good team in Golden State and they can compete at the highest level. So shout out to them. What else? What I was about to say? Oh, do anybody know what's going on with Rakia Jackson? I saw some things yesterday on Twitter about like, is Something going on there with her in LA?
That person is a fan. The tweets that you saw, that's a fan that claims that they're friends with Rakia, which I think it's a little weird. Essentially, she's just upset. She's upset about how she's being used or not being used. Um, some people say it has to do with one of the two former aces, either De'Erica or Kelsey. Um, but just not happy with how the coach is using her and not happy with how she's playing, and she's upset. So
Okay. All right. Thank you. Quick WNBA action over the weekend. As you see, floating on the bottom of the screen, WNBA Weekend Recap. Saturday, we only had one game where we had the Sky get the win 94-83 over the Wings. And Alyssa Smith had her best game of the season. I believe this is game one of the two games that Paige is expected to miss. Yeah, this is game one of the two games that Paige is expected to miss with the concussion protocol. I'm sorry. Speaking on the Wings backcourt situation, both guards struggled. They combined 10 for 31 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3. And that's Enrique. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's Enrique and Dejanay without Paige. Alyssa Smith led the way with 20 points, 7 for 10 for the free throw line, and was 6 for 12 from the field. But again, like I said, they're not expected to win a lot of games. It's not that they don't have good players. They have some work to when it comes to putting talent together and continue to gain more talent. So I think them getting a top 3 pick, if not one this year, be pretty big for them. And then also on the Sky side of things, not last night, but the recent stretch that she's on shows you why you would trade for a player like that if you have a good team that's ready to win right now. The Sky don't have that, so I was trying to kind of have mixed emotion when you go from trading pick 3 to get Ariel. And again, I think she's a good player. She was hooping last year on the Mystics, and I think right now she's in the midst of a really good 3-game run with like 2 20-point games. I think like a 17-point game or something like that. Let me fact check it because I don't want to talk without facts. But either way, yeah, so 26, 17, 21. Her last 3 games, she's hooping, she's shooting pretty efficient from the field, and she's playing good basketball. Again, this is why you go out and get a player. That's why you go out and get a player like that. If you have a team that is ready to win, I don't think the Sky have a team that's ready to win. Could they surprise some folks here? Probably so. I don't think so. They moved to 2-4 on the season with a win yesterday. Camilla,
they won't.
only played 15 minutes. She had 4 points. Angel Reese 4 for 13, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 assists. She was also perfect from the free throw line with 6 for 6. So, yeah, like I said, man, 2 of these teams are really just not this moment, not that good to me. I get why they traded for her, but when you make a move like that, you got to be ready. Lawrence, good morning. You got to be ready to win, in my opinion, or have a team that's ready to win, because she's a girl that can or a lady that can step in and get buckets and produce on an offensive standpoint. So that's my little 1-2 in that game. As far as the Wings, we'll just see what Paige look like when she comes back after missing tonight's game as well. And they play the Storm. I want to say they play tonight. Yeah, the Storm. So, and they'll probably more than likely lose, especially for the Storm coming off of that loss yesterday at home to Aces. Telling you the Aces was going to come out in that type of time last night. But yeah, anybody got anything for Saturday game? I know it's only one game. Not really much to say. I think I just said what needs to be said for the most part.
Yeah, I mean that. Second win.
Oh Jesus!
Y'all good? Y'all can try again.
Go ahead, D-Mac.
The only thing I was going to say, I completely agree with you, Ev, and I think that Ariel Atkins is going, like, she's a good player. She's going to have good games and stuff, but it's just not the type of move that I think was necessary for the Sky, and I didn't like it. I think that you look at how significant their guard play is going to be lacking in general, and the fact that they could have had Sonya to develop alongside their bigs, and obviously, as Ari pointed out, how good it's looked for the Mystics now. It's concerning. So Ariel's going to have good games. It's just a move that ultimately I don't think is going to work out for the long run. And that's something we have to keep harping on every time we talk about the Sky. All that being said, that's kind of where the Sky's just position is. They got to try and figure it out as of right now, and they still aren't having the consistent guard play that they need.
Yep.
The Sky need to trade one of their bigs, because their coach, their team, is not committed to developing both of them. Their team wants to develop one of them. And you saw it last year. They focused a lot on, in my opinion, they focused a lot on Angel. This year, they're starting to shift it a little bit, new head coach or whatever, focusing a lot on Camilla, which isn't bad. They both need to be developed. But they're not doing both. They're not developing both. Like still at this point, the person that gets Camilla the ball most consistently out of everybody on the team is Angel. The person that gets Angel the ball most consistently on the team is Camilla. And so neither of them are really able to do what they're supposed to do. Angel needs a break. I don't know what the fuck is going on with her. She needs a break. She needs to go sit. I don't know. Hit the showers. That's what the fuck y'all be saying. Hit the showers. She needs the fucking showers. She needs to go and figure out why the fuck she's still bringing the ball down from her hip when she's fucking 6 something. Um, yeah, the Sky just they beat what the Wings still don't have a win yet, so they beat the other team that was winless along with them without Paige. So I really don't care about this game that much. That honestly, but yeah, the Sky just they're not a good team. They're not going to surprise. I mean, I think they may be able to get up on like a team, but they're not going to get consistent playing like they need to from all of the people they need it from. Like it can't just be Ariel having a good game and then Camilla having a good game when an Angel decides to have a fucking good game. Just Angel to have a good game and then Sloot just having a good game. Like they still their rotations still suck. When you look at their offense, it still makes no fucking sense. You still have Kia Nurse getting legitimate minutes when all she does is just throw shit up in the air. It's just, it is what it is.
I think that's
Eh,
the most frustrating thing as a WNBA observer. It when they had drafted both of these bigs, there was a pathway for them to develop together and work together. It was just going to have to take a proper investment and patience as far as the actual front office was concerned.
Mhm.
Fire and Teaspoon, the way that
Yeah.
they've tried to implement this offensive system, trading Farrell Atkins, sacrificing future draft picks, all of that feels like they did not have the proper plan in place for these two specific bigs to work as far as that's concerned. So that's really what it comes down to for me.
Yeah,
And that's a frustrating thing.
Yep,
I agree.
I agree. I was excited because the reason why I was excited about it because who those ladies were in college and how good they were and what they can bring to any WNBA team, not just the Chicago Sky, but any team. As far as Camilla and Angel, Angel was really damn good at LSU. Camilla was really damn good in South Carolina, and you can put both of them together. Obviously, the college is different from the WNBA standpoint, and it's going to be a development curve or a learning curve or whatever you want to call it, but they're not doing right by them in year 1 or 2, if you ask me, when it comes to the proper guard play for those ladies. Angel was out there operating like a point forward. Angel's out there the
Yeah,
one that's probably making really, the damn near the best passes on the team,
yeah.
if you want to be real. So I don't know, man. It's something to monitor, room for both of those ladies regardless. Hopefully they don't trade one so soon. But if they have to get somebody to shore up the backcourt, I will understand personally.
Like
Like I said,
I would prefer that they, you know, try to keep it together. But like it ain't working. And what I start to it's kind of like, football, Evan, like with football, Evan, DMAC, when you have a young quarterback in a bad situation for so long, no matter how talented you thought they were coming in, they start developing bad habits.
yep.
And I don't want either Angel or Camilla to start developing bad habits. And that happens when you stay in a system for so long. And I just don't believe that. And to be fair, Chicago's been shit since they won the championship.
Yes, they have.
They have been shit. Their offense,
This has been a systemic issue for them.
yeah, their front office has been a fucking joke. Like it's been bad all the way down. So I think this was just a bad situation for them to
Wasn't
go
that
into personally.
wasn't that like 4 or 5 years ago with Candace, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
4 years ago?
Candace came and saved them. Really,
Yeah.
saved
honestly,
them
he saved them
pretty
for
much.
and saved them and won them that title. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, it's the only one
But
they've
think
won in their
about it, like
history.
when you look at the players that were on that team, that Sky team, none of them was on there last year.
Breaking news. Not to interrupt you, Ari. Uh, Frank, the center, just announced retirement from the Lions. They're starting off pro
Ragnow,
center. Yup, he
Oh,
just announced
Ragnar.
retirement right
Oh,
now.
Really?
wow.
That's
Breaking news,
surprising.
breaking news. You know, I'm better than Shams, I'm better than Adam Schefter, I'm better than all them niggas. T News, nigga.
So
That's not good.
Ragnar was a little bit unhappy with his contract situation. Um, I don't know how that was linked together. He's only 29. Man, that's interesting. Um, they had already moved on. I'm sorry, just derail us here, but they had already moved on, obviously, from a guard that they had Kevin Zeitler yesterday, or not yesterday, from last year. So they're working on replacing him at the guard position. I'm not sure of who their center, is going
Would
to
be,
be.
yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out too.
They've had some question marks as far as the interior and key had a situation, so they were trying to make some adjustments. I know they drafted Tate Ratledge out of Georgia.
Yeah.
I would assume it would be Michael Neese. He was a center last year at Temple, or guard last year at Temple. He plays
Mhm.
center as well. He's there.
But to take us back for 2 seconds to WNBA, because I know you probably just want to get this over. I just want to point out the Sky won the championship in 2022. They had Clea Copper, Candace on that team, I'm gonna just call her girl Azura and Sloop on that team, and a few other people that were good. Danny Evans was there too, but and Emma Messaman, I forget how you say her last name. It'd be fucking me up all the time. And then the following year in 2023, they had they had Courtney Williams, they had Marina, they had Alana. And then you just look at their roster the following season and you're just like, what? This shit don't make no sense. So
Yeah.
Chicago, I don't know, man. I prefer the Lakers rule. Y'all call it the Lakers rule where y'all just don't talk about these niggas. I prefer to not talk about them because they're not doing what's necessary to field a good team. And so therefore it's just gonna be talking about some shit. Unless I don't know what they're gonna if they maybe they trade for somebody, maybe they trade somebody. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, no. It's just not good.
I honestly, I look at them like I look at the Kings. Like it's just, I don't know if they're ever gonna get right. Or the Bulls, for that matter. It's the same city. I know
Yeah, I
it's
just
just
don't
one of
know
those
if they're ever gonna
situations
get
where
right.
the front office doesn't matter what team or talent you're gonna bring in. I just don't know if it's ever gonna be a successful organization because of the limitations that they have there. So
Yeah.
Yep. So that's that. Chicago Sky and Dallas Wings. Good luck Good luck the rest of the way. I've been saying the same thing about these two teams, and I'll move. Y'all just heard me say what I said about the Liberty, bro. I'm not going to rap on. I'm not going to say the same thing again. I'll pass it to DMAC or Josiah or anybody else.
The
Yeah, they
Barclays is a
tired of
nice
season.
arena. FYI.
They
Yeah, great.
I was gonna say Ari was actually in the building.
It was.
Oh,
Yeah.
for this
um,
game. I don't
but
think she was
no,
there this game.
no,
No, I was
no,
there
no.
for the
She
Valkyries game.
the Valkyrie game, right? Yeah. Um, I mean, it was another week. We played, some down opponents. Obviously, we had to handle some business. We played the Valkyrie twice. It was a condensed week, so playing the Valkyrie twice, they got us in that close game. I think that last one, the most recent one, but handled the misses pretty easily. And then you saw what happened to the Sun, which was the first Commissioner's Cup game, and we were up, I think, 50 for most of it. So we just handling business. JJ sat out one of the Valkyrie game because we wanted to make sure we were careful with their hamstring and stuff. And Stewie stepped in and played center, very admirably, as much as she could. And yeah, it's just one of those things where it's a little bit of a soft, easy schedule for us to start out the year, and we'll start to get into it as we get to July and August as far as some more tougher opponents. We got a West Coast swing coming up here towards the end of June too, so we're gonna look forward to that. But this is looking like I expected it to, where the depth of our team is really impressive. And Marina's on. I mean, it's crazy to watch her and all the shots that she can hit, all the passes she makes, but good contributions up and down the roster when it's Burke. I will say I've been pretty, kind of what's it called? Hard, I would say on Sherrod sometimes. But she's done all right. Gardner, she's coming in, give us energy off the bench. Izzy's been really good, especially for our front court depth. Because Naira's missed a few games, so Izzy stepped in very admirably as far as that's concerned. Brooke's been good when she's been out there too, and everybody knows who the stars are. So not much else to say other than this is looking like I expected to, and we're just rolling on.
Sure. Were you saying something, Josiah? I don't know if you were talking or not. I think you did, but I don't know.
I was just saying that we just like D-Mac is basically saying we basically handling business. Basically, we doing everything we need to do, beat up on the teams we need to beat up, and just take care of business on this West Coast trip.
Yeah, I do wonder what team is going to be the team when it does happen. I don't think the Liberty lose over 5 games this year, but I do wonder who is going to be the team to give the Liberty that first L, and even the Lynx too. Granted, the Lynx got a little closer than Liberty when it comes to losing that first game, but great teams still find ways to win. Whether you got to come back or you got to hit a big shot, whatever. The Lynx did that, and also great teams just take care of business as well. I mean, don't give teams hope or even a chance, I would say, to win games, but. Yeah, Liberty, simple put, 158, 152 yesterday. Not gonna say last night. Yesterday's game, 48-point victory, largest in franchise history. Tied the record for the WNBA history. And then last night also tied yesterday. I'm sorry, not last night. Yesterday also tied their own record that they set about a week ago for 19 threes in the game, which is also a WNBA record as well. So, man, that's pretty much what's going on with the Liberty, man. Everybody shot well, everybody played well for the most part. And like D-Mac said, Sabrina's really making. Well, she's been throwing me off with some of her misses this year, but she's making some really good passes. And when she's on, she's on. So it's a beautiful thing to see. Next, we didn't watch the whole entire game because we was flipping between the Storm and the Aces. But like I said, bro, like when I was clicking on and I'm watching the first half or I'm seeing the moments of the games, they up like 15 points. They up like 50. I don't know what. It must have been the third quarter. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So it was the third quarter. It was 24-9 because like literally everything just changed. And the next, we watching 2 games that's nip and tuck. Yesterday with the Aces and Storm game and then the Mercury and the Sparks game. So I can't really speak to it fully. Sims, I have her on my fantasy team for a reason. Like she's a lady that was like a waiver girl, like 10-day contract and things of that nature that she was getting last year in Dallas. I can't remember the other pit stop that she made. It was another team too. I think it was the Sparks last year too. Ultimately, they was liking what she was doing for them last year. Now she's here. She popped off yesterday, had a big game, 32 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Kelsey struggled from the field. She made a bad decision down the stretch of the game. I mean, I think they were down like 3 points, and she drove into the paint and just turned the ball over or shot a bad shot. I think it was a turnover when she had Derica literally right behind her for a wide open 3. So I don't know. Sparks, they dropped to 2-6, and he obviously got that thing going on with Rikia, and then Dallas, and thank you, kid. They obviously got something going on with Kid, and obviously Brink is still out with that injury right now. But when they're healthy and everything is all good to go, I can't wait to see ultimately how they look going forward. Mercury, like D-Mac said, they surprised a lot of folks. The reason why this was such a big win, because they're doing it they got this win without their 2 of the 3 best players. However you want to rank Satu and Copper, feel free. But I think people will say Alyssa Thomas is probably the best player on the team. She's been missing. I think it's her second straight game she missed with a calf injury. But Satu, 24 points. And other than that, it looks like everybody else just came to the party, at least in the starting lineup perspective, when it came to scoring. That's probably what jump started their 24-9 run in that third quarter. They carried that momentum on into the fourth quarter and outscored the Sparks as well in 24-21. So I told you one of the biggest things that came down to stretching that game, Kelsey Plum just did not pass the ball. Looked like she got a little selfish down the stretch of that game. And also just didn't have a good game herself, scoring-wise or shooting-wise from the field. So shout out to the Mercury. Big win for them. They moved to 5-2 on the season. And I said coming to this year, that's a team to look out for just because of the offseason moves that they made when you go out and prioritize getting Alyssa Thomas and getting Satu Sabli. That's an A+ offseason. Now granted, we got Copper. She ended up, getting that injury. She's out for a couple of weeks, or not more than a couple of weeks to start the season. But I can't wait to see what they look like when they're all healthy with Satu, Copper, and Alyssa Thomas all playing basketball together. Because they're really 3 great ladies, if you ask me. So 5-2 is a great start. Same with the Dream. 5-2, great start for them as well. Anybody want to add anything to this game, or I'm gonna continue moving on down?
I'm just happy to see Satu back in balling.
Same, 1,000%. Seattle Storm and Aces. This is one of the few times, not a few, because I would do it more, but it's my first time betting Aces money line this year. They got beat down last week, man. Simple put, they played the Storm in Vegas. I want to say that game was, and they got beat down. Was it in Vegas? It was in Seattle. They got beat down. 102, 102 to 82. And something to me, I'm like, they're not coming out like that again and that's happening again. First and foremost, I want to shout out those two girls on the bench, Miss Evans and then Aaliyah. They come out for 19 points off the bench, but they helped them maintain what they did in the first half. They had a great first quarter. The whole entire team. I like Jewel Lloyd aggression. She only shot one shot that I did not like yesterday. Granted, she only shot the ball 6 times in general, but yeah, not Jewel, Jackie, I'm sorry. One fast break, like a 3-on-1 or something like that. She did a pull-up 3 with a terrible shot. But either way, I like her aggression. Jewel Lloyd, I like how she played the game of basketball yesterday as well. And then Chelsea Gray just played within the flow of the offense and within her role. Asia Wilson did not have a good game from the field. Again, back-to-back against, I want to say against Seattle. I think this is the second straight game. She didn't even touch 20 against them, but 3 steals, 4 blocks. That's still what you can ask for out of her. You know what I'm saying? Or all you would need out of her from at least from a defensive perspective. You know, the offense is going to come eventually. So either way, it was a good win for the Aces. When you look at the Storm side of things, Gabby Williams, I think this is back-to-back good games from her. I didn't like what they did down the stretch though. They went to the rookie. Not saying I think she's gonna be a really good player in WNBA, but they went to the rookie in the post against Asia Wilson. I don't know if that was a call. I don't know what the thought process was behind that, but I wasn't a fan of that last shot personally. So either way, Aces went control of the game for the most part, literally quarter 1 on down. They got our score by 9 in the fourth quarter, but they still was able to hold on with the win. So majority of this game, they were still in control. So I don't really have anything else extra to add there. The Storm will continue to be better and get better throughout this season, though, for sure. See if there's anything else to highlight before we get to the NBA talks.
Fun game. Enjoy watching it. Aces are continuing to improve as a team and come together. It's going to take them a little bit longer, but it's going to come with time.
Yep, and I agree, kid. Definitely had a stretch in that game, but that last play, you don't do that on Asia. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that on Asia at all, and I wasn't a fan of that. A team that I just enjoy watching, bro. I can't lie. I enjoy watching the hell out of the Lynx. I enjoy watching good basketball, and the Lynx are what you call or the definition of a good basketball / great basketball team. I noticed her like last week. I can't remember whether I was talking to D-Mac or Kill, whoever I was talking to, and I said, man, who is this girl? Like, and I'm like, okay, she played for the Sky last year. She couldn't have got minutes. You know, I looked into her. She probably averaged like 10 minutes or something like that on the Sky last year. Veronica Burton is what I'm referring to. When I was watching this game, man, she made a lot of good plays. I'm talking about step back, crossing over, getting to the basket, floating the ball up. She looked sweet yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, sweet as in good. She looked good as in played good. But she had 21 points last night. My bad. I gotta fix the DMV lingo and all that. But yeah, man, she played good last night. 7 for 11 for the field, 3 for 5 from 3, 4 for 5 for the free throw line. She had a really good offensive output last night. Kate Martin, man, how can I forget shouting out Kate? Kate was really good in this game. Really good. Her 19 minutes, she had her best game of the short season so far with 14 points. Kate is Caitlin Clark's running mate in Iowa. For anybody who do not know, it's sad. That's what people know her as. But yeah, drafted by the Aces. Ultimately, she ended up with the Valkyries with that expansion thing. Well, shout out to Kate Martin. Other than that, Kayla Thornton was cool, but their main bright spot or the main two bright spots for them was really Veronica and Kate from an offensive perspective. The Minnesota, man, I mean, it's not even they was playing around in the first half. It's more so that Golden State was doing everything they needed to do to continue to be in the game in the first half. Can't remember what the score was. I think it looked like Golden State was up by 1 point at halftime. And it was a good first half. But as soon as that second half hit, everything changed. It all started with the 3 best players, bro. Fee 24 and 11. Great game that she had. Kayla McBride, 16 points. They're continuing to look comfortable in the 3 games that she played this year. And then Courtney Williams. I mean, the mid-range game is perfect. Her mid-range game is perfect. The 3 that she knocked down yesterday is perfect. Really just an overall good point guard for that team. And like I said, they're a team that's hungry. And when you get a taste of something like that, what they got to experience last year, you want to get back there and not just taste it, but eat the whole thing. Pause. So, I hope the Lynx and the Liberty do see each other again. It was a really good second half performance from them yesterday. And I think that's pretty much what I got to add on for this game last night in this WNBA. Anybody want to add anything to the WNBA weekend recap? Anything WNBA news or anything that you want to throw out there?
Shout out to the rookie years, man. Whoever it is, Sonia, Kiki, don't matter. We winning that shit. Shout out to the Mystics, man. I love my rebuilding teams.
The Valkyrie are interesting because when you have the opportunity, obviously, to put together an expansion team, you usually go with some young people to kind of build off. And obviously, they did pick a few of them, but they didn't shy away from taking some of the older people that have been around as well, as far as the WNBA is concerned. And so, but like you pointed out, Veronica's been a nice little pickup for them. And, she provided some really good, games. I know I was impressed by her. I think it was in the first matchup versus us. She played a lot better than the second one. But
All
yeah,
Burton
as
needed
you
was a
said,
chance, really. All Burton needed
yeah,
was
yeah.
a chance because she
And
can't hoop. She just never had the opportunity to show that.
that's the thing that expansion teams give you opportunity for for you to bring in some people, identify some talent that you think they haven't had the chance before, and to see what they got. And obviously, Veronica's taking advantage of that opportunity. And I hope she continues it and can be a springboard for the rest of her career.
For sure. What's up, kid? What you got to say about anything WNBA related over the weekend or just in general? Anything to shout out? Any teams, players?
Atlanta's impressing me so far.
For sure.
Especially under that new system Carl got them doing. Leash has been all over and definitely improved everything. Whereas last year with the other coach, hell no. Like it was there, but she didn't expand it. But with Carl, I think tapping into that, she has expanded her game more. And I definitely enjoy watching that.
Yep. Shout out to the Dream. Man, I can't wait to watch them because a lineup of Jordan, Ryan, Alicia, BG, and Brianna is going to be a tough lineup to beat, especially think about Ryan. And not saying people don't speak on it, but I want her to get as much love as possible for though how she takes on guarding the best opposing guard every single night. Like she's really a two-way guard in this league, or two-way star, I should say, in this league. So like whether it's Caitlin Clark, whoever it is that she has to take on that they're playing. I'm sorry, I only want to shout out the CC thing. I can't remember everybody that they played. Let me, because there's another. Hold on, let me look at one more team. Skylar, Kelsey, whoever it is, like she takes on guarding. She takes on guarding the best guard on that team on literally the night-to-night basis. So I love that about Ryan personally. Yeah, man, 5-2 is a great start. And when Jordan comes back this month, and probably in a couple of weeks or something like that, that's just something that team to look out for.
I think it's more sooner she'll be back.
Yeah,
I think it's like in the coming week, maybe. Could be wrong.
No, I believe you because I think she tweeted, like I said, she tweeted something. Well, not like I said, but I said it earlier. She tweeted something around, like, well, thank God, point guard Ryan, can go now, or something like that. She quoted her tweet was saying. So, I can't wait to watch them play personally. I'm a fan of Jordan. I had her on my fantasy team last year. I made sure to go scoop her up real quick and stash her in the cut recently. So when she come back, she we're ready to rock and roll, and I'm looking forward to winning the championship. In fact, that's WNBA championship.
I'm weak.
On guards when they play the dream.
I know I should have took some unders yesterday. Started with that though.
All right. Last or next thing on this docket to talk about today will be it'll be the NBA Finals Preview. And the reason why I'm going to transition this one to playback is because we're going to be doing a top 10 players thing. For that, we sort of kind of will try to get as much interaction as possible. If not, it's totally fine. A reminder though, the YouTube positional rankings, like the YouTube show will start right here tomorrow on YouTube, and more than likely the rankings and stuff like that be right here on YouTube as well. So if you're an NFL folk or anybody that talk football and want to talk football, please tell them to come through to the YouTube side of things. I don't see a reason why I will switch to playback for that while I'm trying to continue to grow the YouTube on a day-to-day basis. But as far as this moment, as of right now, I did enjoy the Siakam Eastern Conference Finals MVP talks. I did enjoy the Stanley Cup Final Preview. Shout out to Z Farm. Shout out to the ones that was typing in Mazak. Shout out to the ones that was typing in the chat in regards to that aspect as well. But the next, or even the WNBA talk just now, I definitely enjoyed that as well. Sad there's no WNBA games today, but we get games of all WNBA tomorrow, which I'll be tapping into. As we don't got no Stanley Cup Final game, we don't got no NBA Finals game, so everybody's be watching WNBA with us tomorrow on playback. Speaking of playback, that's literally where the show is about to transition to. Playback of the platform that allows me to host a show there on a day-to-day basis. If I choose to do so. So hold on, Pacers advance to finals. So if you are in here, do not forget to like this video, hit that thumbs up button, please. And then also tell a friend about Fact and Stats on YouTube, or just Fact and Stats, the platform in general. Hold on. The platform in general. Also, do not forget to check out the Fact and Stats website to get your latest Fact and Stats merch. And last but not least, the Fact and Stats Cookouts, 3rd annual, which I cannot wait. A lot of people will probably be in attendance this year. Be a lot of good people, a lot of good vibes, a lot of fun, a lot of things to look forward to, and a lot of moments to enjoy and capture. Is June 21st. If you are interested in coming to the Fact and Stats Cookout, make sure you reserve your ticket on Eventbrite. If you're interested in coming to the Fact and Stats Cookout, make sure you reserve your ticket on Eventbrite. Milo, stop. Make sure you reserve your ticket on Eventbrite. And I'm looking forward to meeting everybody that I did not get to meet yet that is coming for their first time. I'm looking forward again to meet everybody that did not meet yet that are looking forward to coming for their first time. So again, playback.tv/Fact and Stats. It's an app you can download. It is free to sign up and join the Fact and Stats Playback Room. It does not cost any money. When I shift there, hold on, let me drop it in the chat. That's the link right there in the chat. Again, it's an app. Sign up, join the room, pull up. We're going to literally jump right into the NBA Finals. We're jumping right into the NBA Finals. Pacers advances to the finals. Knicks early outlook, and then full NBA Finals preview. And then that'll be the show. And then I'll be heading to the gym, and then we'll be right back here tomorrow talking about the NFL and things of that nature. And I'll probably be in playback later on, watching a baseball game or two. As I don't got nothing else to do tonight or even today. So everybody, thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all in playback. That room is now live again. Playback.tv/Facts and Stats. Playback.tv/Facts